Douglas, stay there. Asghar joins us from Ilford. Asghar is from the Muslim Public Affairs Committee. Asghar, good morning.
Good morning.
Do you want this man in the country?
Well, I surely don't want him extradited to be tortured in a foreign country, and if he's done anything wrong in this country, he needs to be charged. The fact that he's been held for over 10 years, never been interrogated by MI5 or the police, and never been charged with an offence, not even being able to see his own... the reason why they're holding him is a disgrace, and to have...
Not even able to see his own what? You didn't finish the sentence there.
Well, not even to be able to see the charges against him.
Right.
The evidence against him, sorry.
The
evidence against him, no, he hasn't.
I'll let you back in a minute, Douglas. Go on.
Yes.
No, the evidence against him, he hasn't.
I can assure you he has. Everyone can see the evidence.
He hasn't. I can assure you he hasn't.
Do you feel sorry for him, Asghar?
I do feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for any human being who'd been locked up without charge for 10 years, have their liberty taken away, have their lives destroyed, and to be tortured in a foreign country, and then have people on air saying they should be sent back to be tortured again. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't any human being feel sorry for that person?
Well, I repeat, I never said that he should be tortured. I said very specifically that he shouldn't be, and that was why the Labour...
What you actually said...
And that was why the Labour government... If I can just finish my sentence.
Well, go ahead.
The Labour government, his extraordinary effort and expense, made sure that they got every assurance they could from the Jordanian government that he wouldn't be mistreated. The question here is not whether or not he would be mistreated, it is whether or not the European Court's latest changing of the goalposts to include Article 6 grounds is something that the British government can or should follow and obey.
He's got links with some pretty awful people, Asghar. He made a speech in 1999 advocating the killing of Jews, issued a fatwa justifying the killing of wives and children of apostates. Is there at any point where your human sympathy, which you're right, we should all have for a fellow human being, but is there at any point that your human sympathy becomes, tempered a bit?
Two points. Firstly, these claims against him saying that he said this or that, we've heard it all before with the Guantanamo Bay detainees. If it's true, then charge him on that. So that point I don't take. If it's true, if any of those things, and he did say that, and they are illegal... You
don't think he's as villainous as he's painted, no?
Well, if he was, then they should have charged him, not held him 10 years without charging him with a single offence. Secondly, as far as the point being that, does my humanity lessen? If I was going to be less human, then, I'd really have to look deep down and say what's wrong with me. So, no.
Anyone, no matter what they've done, no matter what they've spouted, no matter what they think, think of the biggest villains in human history, you would still have equal sympathy for everyone, whatever their moral position.
Well,
that's admirable.
Well, no, let's just look at this. If someone has committed a crime and they're doing an evil deed and they're going to inflict harm on others, then charge them, arrest them, and put them in prison. Do not hold them without charge for most of their life, ruin their lives, threaten them with sending them back somewhere to torture without ever knowing why or hearing their case and hearing what they've done wrong. What they've done wrong. That's the difference. Humanity demands. The Magna Carta demands.
This really is a red herring. Abu Qatada, I repeat, is a Jordanian national who has been charged in absentia for crimes of terrorism in Jordan. And the Jordanian government, the Jordanian courts want to try him. It is actually an important... No, not under torture, as I repeat, because we've already made that agreement with Jordan that wouldn't happen.
Claim that.
The Labour government got that understanding with Jordan. So if I can just finish, it is an important principle that, as it would be the case for Britain, if a terrorist act were committed in Britain by a British national who had illegally entered a foreign country and was was staying there and evading justice, the British courts would want to return that person to Britain to try them in Britain. That is an important principle to apply here and in Jordan and in any other country.
Well, you've made a fine speech for fine speech for a government that tortures people.
No, I repeat, not torture.
Allow me to finish. I allowed you to finish. I didn't misrepresent what you said.
I said not torture.
Douglas, Douglas, you've been talking for the last 10 minutes about how great it is to send people back to torture. Now let me finish.
He didn't actually say that.
If you keep misrepresenting me, I will keep interrupting you. If you keep misrepresenting me, I will have to keep interrupting you.
Okay, well, allow me to talk, and then if you think I've said something wrong, then by all means you can jump in afterwards and say how wicked and evil I am and how I should be locked up and how I'm an extremist. The fact of the matter is that he was charged and convicted in Jordan in his absence under evidence that was obtained by torture. Now, you may have a great deal of faith in the Jordanian judicial system, but Amnesty International and many other organisations would say otherwise, and that's the problem. It's easier for you.
Isn't it, Asghar? It's a point which was made earlier on. And he's not interrupting you. I am. Asghar, the point was made earlier on that which you've just made about the information being derived from torture, convicted in absentia. But do you not think that some people think that there is an irony here, that he is being protected by a system that he wants to destroy?
Again, I think this is a generalisation. I mean,
I refer to his speeches and to the company he has kept and the links that he has had.
Hold on, there's lots of people, the BNP, the EDL. I mean, they don't agree.
But they're not Jordanians.
So
they're not Jordanian. Nick Griffin, much as you may deride him, he's not a Jordanian. He lives near Wales, and he was born there.
Fine. But he's a human being. So it's someone who is a human being.
But he's a British. He's got certain entitlements because he was born like you in this country. His
entitlement is not to come and be locked up without trial for 10 years. So you can't say because he's not British, that's fine. Is that what you're arguing?
Is that what you're arguing, Douglas?
No, among other things, if you enter a country illegally, the idea that you would then be allowed and able to take on every right that the people born and brought up in this country illegally possess is a nonsense. It is not possible for a system of justice to remain in place which extends every imaginable right to people who have broken into those countries and have used their time in those countries to foment terrorism and hatred.
Okay, thank you both. We have to... Asghar, thanks for your call. Thank you.
Absolute pleasure.
All right. Douglas, thanks for coming on.
Thanks very much, Nicky.
Cheers now. Bye. It's 9:51. Here's Michelle.